For the final time this season, it's the Carolina Hockey Minute Eastern Conference Finals Game 5, further than we've been in any game under Rod Brind'Amour. This was the team that did it. And didn't get it done tonight, but...
Didn't get it done. Started out, first period. Could have asked for much better. Aho, 2 goals.
Great first, man.
Looked like we
Aho
were taking it to
leading
them. Had
this.
a couple moments where they pushed back a little bit, but ultimately we just took it to them. And then at, 7:54 minutes into the second period.
Turned down a KK penalty.
KK took a penalty in the offensive zone.
The Avalanche
They
began.
scored seconds into the power play.
3 goals within 5 minutes after that.
3 goals on 3 shots, 2 of which came in 30 seconds, and the second ends down 3-2.
But much like we fought back in this series, we fought back in the third. We got a goal. Jarvis found a equalizing goal.
Jarvis got the goal. And
after that, the game's just in the balance, and you need the next goal is good to save your season. No,
Verhaeghe down low, got the cross across. The thing is that they had good tips.
Mm-hmm.
They had good passes through open lanes across the crease.
They did.
The thing with Hurricanes took their foot off the gas, and as soon as after that penalty, they took their foot off the gas, and ever since they took it off, the Panthers just struck and struck and struck.
I would have liked to seen a timeout in the middle there, but that's just me. Probably wouldn't have mattered.
But I mean,
professional team we have in the Florida Panthers here.
Yeah, I mean, if they can win this cup, they'll be called a dynasty. If they're not already going to be called a dynasty because they're three-peating first team since, like, what did they say, 1980?
I got to hire. No, we can argue about what dynasty is. Sometimes you can argue.
You got to win the cup to get it.
The classical definition is 3 cups in 4 or 5 years, or 3 championships in 4 or 5 years. But you run into specific examples like, I don't know, Cincinnati Reds, Big Red Machine in the 1970s. They won back-to-back World Series. Everybody's going to tell you that's a dynasty.
Right.
So if you get back-to-back, and you're around the playoffs, all around it, people are going to think of it as a dynasty, and it basically is.
That's
Paul Maurice, I heard him say this week, and he said it. He didn't say it this week, but he said it previously, that Rod Brind'Amour is the best coach in the NHL because his team shows up consistently and plays the system, and he does all he can do to put his team in position to win. He only said that Rod Brind'Amour is the best coach in the NHL, probably because he can't tell us that he's the best coach in the NHL.
Right.
Paul Maurice is getting absolutely every bit out of these boys right now.
Yeah.
And
they're a well-oiled machine there. They we faltered them a little bit, but we had to beat them up to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They got all their pieces back. We took out another one today.
To Listerine, I believe.
And
Carrier was hunting that, man.
Carrier was hunting the whole game. He was pestering the hell out of people.
Somebody said, one of the announcers tonight said, Carrier's having a good game. I didn't agree.
He took 2 penalties.
Don't like it.
He took a penalty in the third after we were down. After we were behind it. That was a bad one to take.
Don't like it because...
Almost all of our penalties tonight were
kind of
like not to stop a breakaway, not because they held it in the zone. They were all just bad. I mean,
we lost 3 games at home this series, and I feel like the penalties tonight were much like the penalties in 1 or 2, although I don't remember the specifics. It feels like they're penalties that come out of being overly aggressive or overly hyped. And I always felt like in this series, when push came to shove, the Panthers were the more calm team, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've got the most experience at this.
I know we mentioned him earlier, but Sebastian Aho had the biggest performance tonight that he's ever had in a big game, and it's good for the kid.
If we hadn't had that terrible second,
without that 5-minute stretch,
if we could have got to the, even if it hadn't been as bad, if you'd just given up 2,
right? It could have been 4 though. It should have been. They earned all 3. They deserved all 3 on the 3 straight shots.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
I thought we were lucky not to give up 4 that period.
I would say that overall, the Hurricanes were the better team in this game. Not by a lot, but they...
You think they won the play like 55% of the time, or say 60?
Maybe
or
more like, yeah. It wasn't like a blowout.
Right.
If every game had been like the first, it would have been a blowout.
And know, the numbers will tell you that this was first off, it was the most exciting game of the series if you were a neutral fan. And the numbers are more even tonight, I believe. Shots are pretty much even. Face-offs pretty much even. We said it before we started this. The difference tonight, special teams.
We're watching the
Panthers get their trophy.
And,
Yeah. You taught me that 2 years ago they touched it, didn't win. Last year they didn't touch it, won. The Western Conference Trophy is a little bit prettier, but good result for the team this year. Hurts right now, but it's a good result for the team. It's a good step forward.
Yeah, it's time. It's time to take advantage of this excessive cap we're going to have, and the free agents that are coming up.
Oh yeah,
You got to decide. I mean, you bringing Burns back for another year?
You bringing Orlov back for another year?
Back? Are you riding these same guys one more time?
You have the cap space.
And that's the thing.
Over
you have
$30
the
million.
space,
I think it's $31 million.
And there's a couple good defenders up for grabs.
That's where you're going to need to retool, is on defense.
And there's a couple of good
forwards too.
Forwards too.
But mostly it's going to be about getting defense right.
You're obviously going to make a play for Mitch Marner.
You think?
And they'll probably make a play for Ekblad. I would think. It just depends on what Florida wants to do.
Wouldn't surprise me if we go after more players with playoff experience. We've seen us get Taylor Hall, and I feel like that was a big role in that. We want guys that know how to perform when the pressure is turned up.
Yep. Even though we relied heavily on our rookies here.
Stankoven, huge playoffs.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad you said that, man. We said it after the last game that they won, but for me, the two players of these playoffs, well, you've got Aho. You've got Andrei Svechnikov in the first two series. Freddie Anderson played his ass off, to be honest with you guys.
You have Orlov in the first two series.
But when it comes down to it, it's Slavin and Stankoven.
Yeah.
When the lights were the brightest, I feel like Slavin might have finished this game. Let me see if he was a +1 at one point in this game. Slavin very well could have finished this series. He ended up at 0. I think Slavin might have been a ±0 in a 5-game series where he played the most minutes and we lost in 5 games. Yeah. That shouldn't. If Slavin, in theory, could play every minute of every game, we might have stood a chance in this series. But, you got 6D and 2 of them were banged up. We stayed healthy coming into this series. We felt like we were healthy. Jalen Chatfield, I think he re-injured or re-aggravated whatever the injury was, perhaps an ankle, lower body. And then Walker, I'm not too sure what the injury with Walker was, but he was playing well this playoffs.
I mean, it wasn't. It was just the first three games of the series. They just never. If you'd have had one like that,
it's the home games. Game 3 on the road is on the road. We split there 1-1.
Well, right, I know that.
It's really those two at home.
But yeah, those two at home,
especially
are bad.
The second one.
But the first 3 games, they were all the same. We just got our ass handed to us.
They ambushed us, yeah. But there were moments we won a period or two.
But one of if not the best home team in the regular season did win a home game in the conference finals.
Right.
And there you go, Bob's your uncle. And special teams really 0-for-6. It's not really.
It didn't come up.
They're 1-for-4. We're 0-for-6.
When we needed it the most, it didn't come up big. We had one with 3 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, all of our power play goals that we got against this Florida team. Maybe not all of them, but I think it was all of them, came after we were down by a lot and late.
Yeah.
So I don't think that any of them particularly mattered. And maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But ultimately, that's the end of the season. It was a good season. Pretty good season.
Yeah, pretty good year, man. I mean, 7 straight appearances in the playoffs, and this year we went further than we've ever been before. Honestly, you could
only
say
by one game, but we'll take it.
And you could argue that we went just as far as we've been before, because if you don't win the round, well, what good is it really?
Right.
But I mean, I like to see the progression in the playoffs from some of our younger kids. I think the experience to Nikishin's going to be big.
Yeah, because Nikishin's played, like I said, Nikishin's played this good, apart from his penalties that he took.
It was probably a mixed
Eastern Conference final against Florida.
Yeah.
So when he goes back to the regular season, then I'd feel like a huge weight's off your shoulders. That's not the same.
Yeah. I'd look to upgrade over Morrow if we want to be serious, real serious about this. Maybe upgrade over Morrow and start next year with him in the AHL. Not that I definitely am not giving up on Scott Morrow in the least, but he might need a little bit more seasoning. But again, this is the Florida Panthers. And a lot of players didn't quite get to their game in this series.
For the last 3 years, for this whole year, if you wanted to be the best, you had to beat the best.
Right.
Because it's looking like it's going to be a repeat of last year.
Yeah.
Florida and the Oilers. And I pull for a Canadian team if the Hurricanes are out. Otherwise, I just pick a random team. So,
Right. We live in Greensboro. We need to.
yeah, we live in Greensboro. But, I'm not going to pick the team that knocked me out, even though
They got Jeff Skinner.
they do have Jeff
How do you
Skinner.
not root for our boy?
I
He played
I have a
once.
Skinner jersey. He was our first, supposed to be our first big player.
Well, yeah.
Back when he was feisty and fighting everybody and getting concussions every
He was
other
supposed to
day.
be our next Eric Stahl, basically.
Yeah.
We're drafted and developed and here for a long time. Jeff Skinner, it's funny because he played one game for the Oilers. I think he's been healthy scratched every game since, perhaps. But there's a script here where they make it to the finals, and then maybe Skinner comes back.
Skinner comes in big. Gets a game winner over
I hope he does.
fed from Connor McDavid.
You'll find us rooting for most of our former players. We're still rooting for even like Vinny Trocheck and Shea. And like, not all of them, but be real, unless you go to Jersey, we probably get a root for you when you leave. I'm not taking a personal shot at Pesci or anything there, but like Pesci and Nason, yeah. I found a hard time rooting for them when they put on that jersey. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Eric Holla. Yeah. Ashley has a particular opinion on Eric Holla.
I think a lot of Canes fans do. Was this Brent Burns' final hockey game in the National Hockey League?
I don't think it was.
I didn't get the impression that it was either because he played major minutes and he did not play too bad. There's a place for Brent Burns in this league if he wants to dial back the minutes and possibly go to another squad next year.
You could even ride him to the trade deadline.
You want to re-sign him? What are we doing?
I don't. If you have to, that's what I'm saying. If any of the defensemen that are in free agency or up for trade, and you can't get any of them, then you can always re-sign Burns.
Rod loves his veterans.
He loves his veterans. You can ride him to the trade deadline, see if anything opens up.
Guys, this was game 90.
The post-season glow coming
Ashley. It took 97 games, guys, but we're bringing Burns back. He's coming back.
That is a crock of crap, and both of you know it, and both of you have sat on this couch the whole season bitching and moaning about Burns playing.
We aren't advocating for Brent Burns to be re-signed.
I do not want Brent Burns re-signed. I loved Brent Burns being here. I thought he has been great, but he's just too old and he doesn't.
No offensive pop,
and he gets too winded too easy. He's too old.
I'm looking to take Slavin to the next level and pair him with a guy like Hamilton used to be, where you got a big scorer with him,
right?
And then get Slavin these 20 extra assists a year and get him into serious conversation for like best defenseman in the league.
But back with Burnsy, I mean, he's just, if you can't get anybody, like you can't pull another defenseman, you could pair him with one of the rookies.
Tony DeAngelo, what are you doing next year?
Tony DeAngelo. You could.
We could have used Tony in this series here.
I really hope we don't.
We could have used anyone at the trade deadline, a depth defenseman. We called for it, and it would have been big if we would have got one at the deadline in this series to reinforce the back end. But I mean,
I'd like to see Orlov and Burnsy go and replace him with Nikishin, and I mean, I'd love to see Ekblad over here.
Yeah, I think the smart decision here is to let Brent Burns walk and hopefully enjoy success somewhere else next year. And then reconsider re-signing Orlov for 1 year if it's good for the team and good for him.
Yeah, he needs to make
but probably if it's just a team-friendly deal.
Team-friendly deal.
But, again, we have so many team-friendly deals. I don't know if we have any truly bad contracts. Probably the most sketchy one is KK's contract. I've been on KK's side. I kind of like KK. In past years, I've kept a KK fall counter because I kept track of the KK falls that he'd have. This year, he didn't fall as much, and I like KK. It's going to be hard for me to shake that penalty that led to the downfall in the second, though. But even his contract's not atrocious, man.
Well, not anymore. It was
Caps went up.
He gives out.
Caps went up.
It's
where it is
the
based on
going up. It's not as bad.
It's also where you have,
but also what he's given us. Right, we've played him all over though. He's played up in the top and not done anything.
Yeah, the argument is it's 2C money, and you're not playing him on the second. He's not really a second line player. He's more of a third line player.
Right.
But Jordan,
not that he doesn't have the ability to. He falls down, and I mean, he tries to make these moves, and he's just not quite there.
Yeah, but I still think you can win with KK on your team. if that's your worst contract, you're in good shape. And I saw The Athletic recently. They ranked every team in the National Hockey League as far as, their future, as far as their cap situation. Hurricanes were number 1. And this is a team that was in the conference finals here. So, Tulsky, man, this has got to be a general manager's. Honestly, this has got to be a GM's dream this offseason.
You got a lot of money and some good players coming up. And you could potentially sign several big names.
Anybody out there should be available to the Canes.
Yes.
Yes.
We could pay them all what they want and probably still have money left over.
I was going to say, we're almost in a position where, depending on who we sign, the 1-year deals that we sign, if it's an overpayment, as long as it's a 1-year deal, we might even be in a situation where that's okay, because next year we're going to have a surplus. I don't know the cap spaces after next year, but next year, $31 million, a lot for a team that went this far. It's good to see.
Yeah, because you're dishing them out. And you think of these high expensive players like Mitch Marner.
Right.
And you think they're going to go to Chicago because they've got the money. So do the Canes.
Right.
And if he has to choose, I mean, he may choose Chicago because it's, it's original 6 and it's a bigger city than anything we got here, but...
Yeah, you don't usually find yourself this far into a run of success with this much cap space and a chance to really elevate your team going into next season, which you're going to need, because clearly we were not the better team here. We can play Rod Brendan more. You can let it go, Cole. I don't care. Well, we can talk while we do this. I really don't care too much.
That's right. It's the last episode. Who gives a shit?
This is it.
I assume till next season, or is this the only season you want to do it?
No, we'll be back next year. We'll do gargoyles, guys. You're going to get to learn a little bit about our ECHL team. They're talking to Rod now.
He's going to hate it that he let his center go on the one, because we talked about that play 1,000 times, and he knows it. So that's going to eat him up, But he's an elite player for us, and we have a lot of them. I hate it for the guys. They work so hard. Jordo, Burnsy. Hopefully we get another crack at it. But those guys deserve a little better.
Last one, you're as competitive and passionate as a coach or player that I've ever interviewed. How will you handle the next few days?
Well, this is tough for anyone. I don't care how competitive you are. When you lose out, when you get, you can taste it. But listen, Florida is a great team, and so no shame in losing to those guys. They do it right, and just really, for us, we model our game to a certain standard, and they're the ones we got to, find our game to get that much better, and that'll be our goal.
All right, thank you for this, and sorry about the loss.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Rod.
See you next season, Rod.
See you next season, Rod.
I was saying we'll be watching the Gargoyles next year, though. We'll be there opening night, October 18th.
The plan is to be there opening night.
That's the plan.
We'll be able to.
We have every intention of doing that. Next year we will not be. I did all 97 games this year. We had one posted within a half hour after every single game, I think, this season. Next year I have no intention of doing every single game. Probably most is how I would describe it.
All right.
But definitely some Gargoyles, man. It's going to be fun.
Action. Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
We're really happy that the Gargoyles are associated with the Hurricanes. That's good.
I'm glad they're in Greensboro, and I'm glad they're affiliated with the
Canes.
So happy about that.
So the season ends in game number 97, which is the year that the franchise started. A little fitting there. Anything else, buddy?
No, not really. I mean, I can't think of anything else. I'm excited for. It's a tough loss. I'm still excited for next year because I'm really excited to see what Tulsky has with a full session and nobody holding us up, like jacking up our money situation so that we can't, because I want to see what moves we make. I'm really excited to see some of these trades come in.
Oh, yeah. He's going to go to work this summer, and we're not hamstrung by any awful contracts like we were talking about. The future's bright. I still believe in the team. Yeah, that's the bottom line. I still believe in Rod Brindamore.
We don't have anybody to hold up anything like Rantanen did. Like, we don't have to work around anybody.
Great decision to bring Stankoven in.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really solid decision.
Definitely my kid's favorite player.
It's got to count for you. It does count for something.
It's a lot.
Yeah, he works his ass off. Goes to the middle of the ice. He was good again tonight.
He was.
If we have a lot of players on our team that play like Logan Stankoven, we'll be in good shape.
Yeah, hopefully he elevates some other players because He's not far from the biggest player on our team, but he does hella work. Great acquisition. Love him. Fits in great here. So far. Next season's a whole different demon, so
who knows?
See if we can beat that beast next year.
All right, guys. I wouldn't necessarily expect anything from us during the off season. We go our separate ways. I drive over here for all these episodes. We watch these games in person, so
yeah.
We go our separate ways during the summer. So,
the jab at me. We've been friends for 20 years.
No, that's not a jab or anything. I'm just saying, a lot of these people do these podcasts on Zoom and stuff. You know, I don't know anybody else that's done a show. Seriously, we did 97 this year. We probably did over 80 together. We actually watch these games together.
Yeah, most of them.
Yeah.
Maybe at the beginning of July we can do a free season or free agent recap.
Free agent acquisition recap. Yeah. We did 99 episodes this season. 97 were games and 2 were trades.
There you go.
So,
talk about the Brandon trade. That was important.
Yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I guess just save it to next year, right?
That's right. If you remember it, bring it up first thing.
Yeah, first thing next year, whatever it is, because I'm sure I'm going to remember it just in 5 minutes when we cut this off.
That's right.
I'll bring it up next year. Hell of a year for Jacob Slavin. That's just what I want to go out on. The 4 nations, the playoffs. Jacob Slavin's the best player on the team, man. Yeah. And I love this dude. And,
he deserves to be, when Stahl leaves, he deserves to be captain.
I really do believe that, too.
He deserves to be captain.
Could go to Aho. We saw him score 2 big goals tonight, but yeah.
No, it needs to be Slavin. Aho's great too, but
Slavin brings it every single night.
Yeah.
He's the
best defensive defenseman in the league.
Every single night.
If he could have played 60 minutes, we'd have won the series.
People were talking about last game, the win. They were saying, Slavin, he played 28 minutes. That's what everybody knows. But they're saying, he played the game of his life. I could have named 8 to 10 better games he's played this year.
Yeah.
It wasn't even his best game of the playoffs. That's a regular Jacob Slavin game. They just don't
Slavin.
know it.
Yeah, that's Slavo.
Olympics next year, too. I'll throw that in before we go. That'll be interesting to see.
First time I've ever seen it. So
the hockey keeps rolling. So this is the end, guys. Ashley, thank you for doing it this year. You filled in a few times.
Yeah. It was fun.
And Cole, thank you. And I always say, let's go Canes. You say it.
Go Canes.